My name is Roy Neuberger. Since the publication of my first book, which describes our journey from a secular upbringing to an observant Jewish lifestyle, my wife Leah and I have spoken to Jewish audiences in hundreds of locations around the world. In the year 2013, we embarked on a speaking tour of the former Soviet Union, organized by the organization called Shvut Ami, which created in the early 1980s the first yeshiva in Israel dedicated to teaching Russian Jews. This video chronicles that memorable trip and ends with our return to Israel. The first scene shows us with Rabbi Yaakov Baum, one of Shvut Ami's veteran rabbis. Next to him is Shlomo, who was a famous Russian movie actor until he quit the world of film in order to become a student at Russia's largest yeshiva, Torah Chaim, outside Moscow. When I spoke at Torah Chaim, Shlomo translated my words from English into Russian. We're here on this incredibly adventurous trip to the former Soviet Union under the auspices of a really great organization, Shvut Ami. We had the privilege that 2 of the 3 books I've written have been translated into Russian under the auspices of Shvut Ami, which is an organization that has developed Torah among Russian-speaking Jews. Now you are seeing a bonfire on Saturday night at Yeshiva Torah Chaim. Russians are not afraid of the snow, and some vodka kept us warm. But the real warmth of Yeshiva Torah Chaim is the fire of Torah, which burns brightly in the hearts and souls of its students. The prophet Amos said that in the days before Mashiach, there will be a hunger and thirst among Jews, not a hunger for bread or a thirst for water, but a hunger and thirst for the Word of God. Here is Shlomo's story.
And I decided to go to theater university. Why? It was decision. I decided it because I wanted something for soul.
Amazing. I don't know how to tell you how amazing it is to be here. We are here to Tbilisi, Georgia. We're with the chief rabbi of Georgia, Rabbi Ariel Levine, the wonderful person we became in a few hours. I feel as if I became his good friend. We lived in New York. We had everything. The best education, the best family. We had everything except one thing was missing. What is it? Jewishness. 2 Jewish parents, no Jewishness. Nothing.
И вот они жили в Нью-Йорке. Казалось бы, все прекрасно. Прекрасные родители, прекрасные дети, есть деньги. Живем в Нью-Йорке, но чего-то не хватало. И что было, вот чего не хватало, это иудаизм.
Of course, every Jewish boy has a Brit Milah. Every Jewish boy has a Bar Mitzvah. No Brit Milah. No Bar Mitzvah. No Rosh Hashanah. No Yom Kippur. No Pesach. No Hanukkah. My favorite day of the year, December 25th.
What kind of Jew are you? Here we'd studied all these religions, nothing seemed right. We had 2 daughters. Our 5-year-old was asking us about God. Her friends, non-Jewish friends, were telling her about the religion. We didn't know what to do, what to tell our daughter. Since nothing else seemed right, we decided to look into our own. Maybe there is something in Judaism for us. We lived in this little town 60 miles north of New York City, no synagogues there. And we asked a friend to take us to the nearest synagogue where he was a member 5 miles away. He said, yeah, next week there's an interesting speaker, why don't you come?
Yeah, you happy? Here we are at the Jewish University of Odessa in the Ukraine. Our translator is a young lady named Karina Grigorieva. Soon after these programs, Karina and her parents made Aliyah to Israel, and she enrolled in a seminary where her name became Raquel.
I knew I was Jewish, both my parents Jewish, but I had no clue what it really meant. I felt an emptiness inside, like what's the truth, what's right, what's wrong. The way we were raised, if I thought something was right, you thought it was wrong for you, it was right for me.
Shevet Achim is a Jewish orphanage in Odessa with some 400 children from all over the former Soviet Union. The head of the orphanage was himself a child in this very orphanage. At the end of this segment, you will meet Igor Shveps, a young pianist playing a hauntingly beautiful melody. This orphanage accepts not only biological orphans, meaning that they have no parents, but also what are called social orphans, whose parents are unable to raise them. But the Jewish community takes care of them, and their new parents become their spiritual parents.
The first mass murder of Jews during World War II was here in Kiev, in Babi Yar. And on these ashes, this is, where Jewish community was rebuilt. But, I once spoke in Baltimore Yeshiva. So they asked me, how did I end up in Kiev? I said, you know something? I said, when I was younger, and I dreamed about what I want to do when I grow up, I didn't dream about being a fireman or a policeman or becoming rich or making money or what I can do for myself. I always dreamed of what I can do for other people. I dreamed about what I can do to change not only my life, but other people's lives, right? And that's why I ended up here.
Russian Jewry, for us, they were our heroes. Like, I remember my mother used to always tell me bedtime stories about the Russian Jews behind the Iron Curtain, and stories of Mendelevich and Sharansky and all the underground yeshivas and the Messias Nefesh. I mean, I grew up with this, but I never dreamt in my wildest dream that I'd ever make it actually to Ukraine or to Russia, to any place.
In Russia, Georgia, and Ukraine, we saw Jewish people caring for each other and bringing each other back to Torah after almost 2,000 years of exile. The next scene takes us to the tomb of our matriarch Rachel in our homeland, the land of Israel, where Mama Rachel is awaiting our arrival. Mama Rachel is the paradigm of the Jewish mother, a model of self-sacrifice and nurturing, who raises holy children and illuminates the world with sanctity. Yaakov Avinu, our father Jacob, was coming to back to Eretz Yisrael from the house of Lavan, and she died on the road. And this is where she was buried. And this is so old. This kever, this is from the time of the Torah, thousands of years ago, and it says, it's always going to be here because this is the road that Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, took, and they went on exile, and the temple was destroyed, and they passed here, and Mama Rachel's tears or would have saved us over the centuries. And so people come here to be with their mama Rachel, and they also cry tears, and they feel the emotion of this place. That Mama Rachel, who gave up the first rights to her father Jacob in favor of her sister Leah, so as not to embarrass Leah. She's in a unique position to ask Hashem to save her children. And that's what she's been doing for thousands of years, and her children have been coming here for thousands of years. We're standing here now by the shores of the Dead Sea. Overlooking the Dead Sea is the Sodom, the famous site that's mentioned in the Torah, the city that was destroyed. Our rabbis compare the Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee, the Kinneret and Yam HaMelech. Rabbis say that the Sea of Galilee is called, it represents good midos, good values. And the Dead Sea represents bad values. Why? What's the difference? Because the Sea of Galilee the Kinneret takes what it's given and it gives it out. And it gives it out to all Israel. It waters all Israel. But the Dead Sea is dead. The water that flows into the Dead Sea, and this is the lowest spot on earth, goes nowhere. We're standing here on the bank of the Jordan River. This is the place where Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, crossed the Jordan River under the leadership of Yoshua ben Nun, Joshua, in biblical times when our nation entered the land of Israel.
It's amazing to think after our Jewish people, our nation, after 200 years of slavery in Egypt, after receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai, after 40 years of wandering in the desert, finally on this very spot, entered our Holy Land for the first time. We're standing right here, and we should see all our people gathered here soon, and we should see the day of our complete and total redemption of all our people.
Amen.